right? We got to talk about Big Glow, right? And when we think about these women tracks, these women songs, these women albums, one thing that always stands out is the production, right? One thing when we looked about Megan's album, when we looked at Lotto's album, like those women, when we looked at JT's album, those women, one thing I've said about those women, they've always released music that had great production behind it. So even if their rapping wasn't top tier, even if their flows, even if their cadence wasn't all that memorable, even if their substance wasn't there, right? They always had the production to help carry them. And I don't believe the production helped carry Glow. I think it helped intensify the message, intensify the point that she was getting across. But it did her a favor. It did complement her style, right? And she gave us different flows, right? She gave us a little bit of everything. Stop playing, right? She went to that "Wipe Me Down" sample, right? She gave us a lot of things that, she showed her versatility. And I like the Meg feature. I feel like her and Meg, how I look. Like, I feel like her and Meg don't miss. But that Kirk Franklin song was not needed, like, because it just like two different contradicting sounds to me. I feel like that sound, the trap and then straight to the gospel, I just feel like it kind of clashes. So, I mean, it was a good try in which I liked the risk taking, but for me, that was a no. I didn't really appreciate that song, if that makes sense. I didn't like it like that. So, I mean, there were definitely some skips, but I feel like it was a good album. I see some people on my Facebook timeline saying this is a classic. And I like that people are excited for Glorilla because I'm excited for her. I'm excited for her future as well. But one thing that, caught my attention was she was a little bit offbeat, right? She was a little bit offbeat, So although the flows and cadence switched up a little bit, sometimes she was kind of rapping off beat, off key, and that kind of like it just didn't sit well with me on I feel like if she could have caught the beat better, then I think that would have made that verse or made that song a lot more, digestible. Sometimes it kind of messed up the how I consumed it just because she was off beat. And when we talk about a classic, if we're going to lift somebody up on a pedestal, we kind of got to give them this criticism, right? Because we see the Detroit rappers, we see guys like G Herbo, Blueface, we saw Silk the Shocker back in the day. Some rappers rap off beat. But when we talk about Meg Thee Stallion, when we talk about Nicki Minaj and Cardi B, when we talk about these elite level rappers, if Glorilla is trying to be one of them ones, then she got to get on beat. And if she just trying to be a chick from Memphis that made it and just doing her thing in the music industry and just, riding a certain trend, riding a certain coattail and just trying to make some good music, make some hits, I get it. But if she want to elevate, if she want to increase her status, then like you got to get on beat. Like that shit is, to me, is no excuse for that. And then for the person that's doing the production, for the person that's in there with them, the engineer, like sometimes you got to tell them to slow down or pick it up a little bit. Make sure that you say this word when that drum drops, when that, you know what I'm saying? It's just something about like being on beat that makes the song a lot more smoother. And when you're off beat, it just kind of makes it a little bit harder to hear it. And so that's really my main critique of the album. And she showed some introspectiveness. She showed a softer side, right? Glow's prayer, like that Kirk Franklin into Glow's prayer when she talked about loving a man and just not wanting to feel dumb and not just wanting to be hurt again. I really felt that. And I feel like that's a lot of women, a lot of young girls feeling like they want to love somebody, but it's hard for them to be vulnerable. So, they act a certain way, they do certain things because they trying to protect their heart, and it's hard for them, especially in this society when women have their own money, when women have their own say on what they want to do with their bodies, when women have that empowerment going on. It's hard to be vulnerable, it's hard to be in love. And I think she showcased that vulnerability in that song. And cause she always talking about some player shit. She always talking about if he cheat, you cheat. If he do this, you do this. You get his friend. Whoop de woo. Like, but she showed like that's bullshit. She really just a girl that wants to be loved. And I can appreciate that.